Look, how are y'all doing today? It's a great day. It's a great day. Got the rain music up high today. Listen, I've been up all night. You can see the time. That's the actual time in the AM right now. It's my favorite time, but I haven't slept because I've been doing a lot of research here lately, y'all. And I haven't really been talking about the research I've been doing because I like to kind of move in silence. You know me. And as I'm moving in silence, I'm doing my research. I really found out, and I've been feeling this way, but your boy's a mystic. I'm a mystic. That's what it is. There's no getting around it. And, as I have obviously shown, you guys witnessed me going through a full Kundalini. There we go. You know what I'm saying? A full Kundalini ascension. And see, I was doing the research into this, and I think about having a Kundalini ascension, and you can feel it while it's happening, And when I was starting to go through it, this is when the ex-wife started telling her about I'm going crazy, which all I was doing was telling her how the world really works. The same stuff I'm telling you guys. But see, here's the thing. When you don't know what's going on, and this is why a lot of people say, you should be taught through it. But some people train to do this, and some people kind of grow up, and some people, this person's probably this, and they get, mentored. And some people just get stepped on all their life and try to get, always pushed to the side and overlooked, right? Like people try to always make sure that you're not seen. And you have to really realize things on your own, which I realize that's what life's about. Life truly is about your soul finding its way back to itself, which is God, which is yourself, and as you're having this awakening process and you feel this energy, rising from the base of your spine, and you feel all this, I'm not going to get into the Christos, oil and all that stuff. You got to look the stuff up on your own. But, here's everything I'm saying is basically the same thing that someone that has Kundalini ascension speaks about. And I'm just pulling this stuff from Divine. I didn't look any of this stuff up. That's why you guys are able to relate to it, because the way that Divine is having me... See, if I would look this stuff up, I had a bunch of old information, which a bunch of people have, and it's hard for them to relate. But by God giving it to me right now in 2023, and I'm a millennial, I'm able to relate to... When I look at my analytics, I am literally having every demographic group, watching my content, even the 13 or whatever that is group. So I have a very large responsibility. I don't care the number and the suppression that's going on. It's going to be suppressed, until I figure out exactly what the channel needs to be, which is this, right? Continuing to get back to teaching you guys how to ascend. That's where I need to be at on this channel. I have managed to split off the other fractions of me that I need to express through different channels. But as far as this channel, getting closer to God, which is you, your higher self, and teaching you how to... But basically, what happens is, it's really like a test. It's like a spiritual test. So, you get all this spiritual power once you go through the ascension. And, the Kundalini thing, it really is. It's like heaven on earth, like I've been telling you guys. And a lot of people, now I'm looking it up and doing my research, they say that initial, it's the middle of the night, y'all. The initial blissful feeling that you have kind of fades off. Maybe I'm still in that phase. I don't think I am. I'm still doing my research, but I think I'm full blown, I'm saying, heaven on earth. But here's the thing. A lot of people have this preconceived notion based off of the way that the older generations, carried themselves or whatever. But, it's a different generation, so we have to be built a little bit differently with the spiritual warfare that goes on, and people just playing with it nowadays, right? So, I just really been looking into this. I definitely I know this is what I am, and I'm gonna, what I do whenever I realize something and I give myself more responsibility. I take my responsibilities very serious. So, obviously I'm gonna have to tone down some of my bully stuff, but again, I'm channeling my information from divine. So I do believe, and I believe that's my portion to bring to the table, is being able to defend yourself, and not just turning the other cheek. You turn the other cheek nowadays and you might end up in a casket. Okay, this isn't the days of old where there weren't that many people. A lot of people are getting into spirituality, and a lot of people are doing a lot of witchcraft. I mean, shoot, the media and whatnot, powers that be, do it right in front of our face. So, with that being said, there has to be a new type that comes out. And spiritual leaders, look, they come in different forms, but I can guarantee you what I'm saying is what most of them say. And a lot of them will probably be like, well, he's a little rough around the edges. Well, being in modern times, you might have to be. However, I am refining and, slowly getting to where I need to be at. But there will never be a time where I'm just going to sit there and act like I'm Mr. Whatever. And, well, I believe this to be so. Where I'm just going to sit there and I'm going to probably, make sure that everybody understands, respect is earned, not given. You get what you give. Let's all stay calm and be respectful. But once you get to a certain level of clout and people recognize you as that guy that's the, and a spiritual leader, they're not going to disrespect you or look for reason to disrespect you like they do now. Right? But see, most people don't go through a Kundalini awakening like I did. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like on camera, you can literally watch. And what happens is when you go through it, there's a lot of stages of it. And one of them being, dark night of the soul. So imagine going through a Kundalini awakening while getting gang stalked, while going through a divorce, while being homeless. Like that kind of stuff right there, would put some people in, spiritual psychosis or whatever, or what people like to call in layman's terms crazy or insane or whatever. And from the outsider looking to judge, it could look that way. But see, the what separates people from that, is just being one with God, figuring out how to combine yourself with your higher self and living as one. And then the proof is in the pudding, as in the person shows themselves to be a completely sane person by being able to handle themselves, their bills, their kids, and showing that, they're all about love. But, they go through that dark night of the soul portion, and that's a really deep spiritual thing that should not be intruded upon by a bunch of negativity from a bunch of demons that don't know what's going on. See, this is what I'm talking about, like, why you have to be careful who you're picking on online and whatnot. You don't know who it is. You could be literally picking on the next spiritual teacher. Like one of the big names going to be somebody that's, going to be teaching millions and millions of people how to ascend. And you're going to be remembered as the ones who were, trying to troll in the story. That's just not a good idea. It's not a good look. Certain people are cemented into this, storyline, right? It's not like I'm going to write a book and call anybody out by name. My book is going to be about the spiritual ascension, but, and I can't say too much because, just the name alone will have people trying to go ahead and do it, but they won't be able to put the details. See, here's the thing I don't understand. instead of people not understanding that I'm going to be a spiritual leader, I am a spiritual leader. I'm already being treated as such now. That's why I have dating problems. Women are already putting me on a pedestal, and not just because of my looks, because they recognize, because they're, women are, naturally tapped in, that, hey, this guy's got more things going on than a normal guy. They can't put their finger on it. Well, it's because I'm your next spiritual leader, your next spiritual teacher. That's why I have the healing hands. I'm just a natural healer, and the things that I say make sense. A lot of those older generational spiritual healers, these guys, they were right for their time, but there has to be different kinds for different generations, because they have to be someone that stands out for their generation, but also represents their generation in a way. Do you see what I'm saying? Does it make sense? I'm sure it makes sense. We're always making it make sense over here. So, I mean, that's what it is, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing, and it puts me back in, alignment to what I need to be doing as far as what I've been doing anyway, but putting it in the content and in the words, properly on this channel. I have the other channels to do all the other stuff that I want to do now, so it doesn't have to be all mixed up. So here, we'll talk about, spiritual ascension, things of that nature, and just getting closer to God. Obviously, probably using tarot and numerology and things of that nature, because it's all, one, as far as my path has been. You guys, whatever you use, wherever you go to get closer to God, whatever what I'm saying, just continue to do so. But I'm going to start, on this channel, focusing on having you guys understand that the narc that you had was not working against you. That narc was working for you. So, when you're thinking about the trauma you went through, I don't know why life is this way, but for some reason we have to go through trauma to ascend or unlock certain potential. I don't know why it's this way, but it really is. So, and sometimes the worse the trauma, the greater the potential you can unlock. So you have to be really careful, because some trauma you can't get over, like some trauma where you were sacrificed in a certain kind of way, that some type of way emasculating on a really deep level, right? But some trauma, like breakups and cheating, I mean, there's some people that really go through some really, really deep stuff. So that's not that big of a deal in my book. It is, but it isn't. I mean, it is in a sense that, I'm never going to, with that person, but it's not in the bigger picture of the level of trauma that certain people endure and are walking around with a smile on their face, right? So now that I take my job serious, I'm going to be even more so trying to keep a level head. But again, I want you guys to understand that this generation, during these end of times, type of times, God's sending his warriors. So, yeah, I mean, I can be that spiritual leader, you know what I mean? But this is during the end of time, so I'm going to be a little bit different. Yeah, I'm about to go to bed after this. But look, y'all, I don't want to hold you, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate your time. I'm just, I started getting these downloads, and I had to make this video. That way I can schedule it, and it can be ready to go and post. But yeah, that's what's going on. That's what it is. And this is gonna be great, y'all. It's all about getting closer to God, and it's the best way to do it. All right. So I appreciate y'all joining me and listening to me talk about this Kundalini experience, and just knowing my path and what's not important and what to ignore and how to stay focused. So that being said, what I'm saying, love myself, love yourself, love God. I'm out of here.